It's Wednesdays, MUTV group chat. How are you? Good to have you with us. That's it for international football. Thank goodness for a few weeks. And we're just a few days away from the return of the Premier League. Stay with us on the show the next sort of half an hour or so. You've got a chance to win our, should we say, distinctive new third kit. And yeah, you can join in with our competition later on in the show if you want to see and want to win our third kit. You'd certainly stand out if you wear that. Let's bring in the lads. We've got Wes, we've got Ben, we've got Danny, but we don't have Maisie. No Maisie today, mysteriously not here. Some might say he's been upgraded. Dion Dublin has stepped into the breach. How are you, boys? Dion, good to see you, mate, as well.
How are we, chaps? Okay, nice to see you, Stu.
Good to see you, mate. You okay?
Morning.
Ben's back in his Portuguese villa as well. Nice.
He never used to be like that, Stu. He used to be quite down to earth, but now he's showing off.
Dion, we had you last time you were here on this show. It was actually mid-April, which was right in the middle of lockdown. So we haven't had a chance to speak to you really since the season ended. And if we would have spoken to you then and said United will end up finishing third, you would have taken that, wouldn't you?
Without a doubt, they were just, from what I could see, Stu, they were just gaining momentum, gaining some kind of patterns of play, and some relationships on the pitch were just starting to show, and playing like United. It was like watching United again, or they were almost like watching United. And to get and to finish where they did it's a huge achievement for Ollie. It just tells me that everybody's on side with the manager, coaches, and the playing staff all seem to be pulling the same way. And I think that's the only way to take Man United forward.
I mean, we were obviously gutted to lose out in those semi-finals, but the most important thing, Dion, was surely finishing in the top four. So we all know how important the Champions League is for all sorts of reasons.
Yeah, for Man United as well, they have to be in the Champions League. The club's too big not to be in the top four, and it's a huge disappointment and a massive failure if Manchester United don't finish in the top four every single year they're in the Premier League. That should be par for the course. Getting there was possibly the hardest they've ever had to work to get there last season. But they did. Now it's time to build on that, Stu. That getting there is, and the lads will tell you, we've all played, getting to where you need to be is hard, but it's the easy part. It's now staying there and establishing yourself as one of the big boys again.
Just a word on players, by the way. Dion, was Bruno the one that really stood out for you? I mean, he transformed things, didn't he? In the end, he dragged us over the line in many ways.
Yeah, I just think sometimes when you're on a training pitch and somebody new comes in, and that somebody new takes the football to a new level, or reminds you of where the level should be, then everybody ups their game, especially people in his position as well. You know, they all have to up their game. Everybody did. And yes, I think he was an absolute revelation.
Bit of reaction from you from Monday's show. This email from Cape Town, actually, from Kyle, who's lucky enough to be in Cape Town, who says, I'm Cape Town. I'm in Cape Town. I've been a Red since 1983. Love the Greek chats. Would love to see Rude on the show one day. We'd love to see Rude on the show one day. Got a question for the lads. Scott McTominay seems to be third choice defensive midfielder at the moment behind Fred and Matic. Whether that's fair or not is open to debate, but where he seems to find himself in the minute, do you think it is worth trying Scott as a centre-back again? Is he too old to be converted? Scott is taller, stronger and faster than Victor, probably good at playing the ball out from the back. Strongly believe we need a quick centre-back to complement Maguire. Luckily, the MUTV group chat panel has a couple of blokes who know a lot about defending. Ben and Danny, what do you boys think? It's a very good point, actually. On that point, is it actually? I'm going to mention this to Dion because you were converted, weren't you? You were converted in the end to centre back. How hard is it? Could it happen with him?
I don't think so. When I'm asked this question, and I think Wes will probably relate to this. When I'm asked a question about centre halves and should he or shouldn't he, I always look to who would I like to play against? Who would I find it easier to play against? And I'd love to play against Scott McTominay every week. I'd love it. I just feel that as a footballer, I rate him very highly. And he always tries to make things happen. That's his first thought, in my opinion. He always tries to find a forward pass. Doesn't mind making a tackle when he has to. But his first thought isn't to defend. And I think that's what you have to have in your head. You have to think, right, defend, destroy. He wants to create. You've just got to destroy your defender first of all.
Lads, is it even a vague possibility that would happen if Scott going back to centre back? Or is that far too early to even think about that? Wes?
I was just saying that I don't think anyone would want to play against Dion anyway. So,
Thank you, mate.
One person that you would think, I don't want to play against him today. I bet there's not many.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't mind. Wes, you're right. I didn't mind. I'll let you carry on with your answer, Wes, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah. But with Scott, I think Scott's a midfielder. He's still young. If you were to put him centre half, I reckon he would be a bit like Carras when he played. He could play there, but after 2 or 3 games, I think everyone, the fans, and you can see he's not a centre half. He's a midfielder, and I think that'll be a little bit of the downfall. But listen, Scott just has to work hard. Yes, at the end of the season, Fred was getting back in front of him, and obviously Bruno came. But Scott will still get in the team. He works hard. You can see that in his play, and he'll get better, and eventually he will get back in. And then it's about fighting for your place and staying there. But I think Scott's a midfielder, not a centre back.
Dion, so what was the question you asked, Dion?
I was going to say in answer to Brownie's question, it's so our era, and Ben, or you guys are a lot younger than me, but in our time we didn't show any fear at all. You couldn't show that you were hurt. It was a sign of weakness. So we didn't do it, even though there might have been a bit of pain there. It never came to the face. But there were people that I didn't really enjoy. I mean, I used to play against Danny Shitu. Remember Danny Shitu?
Yeah.
Played for QPR. And I would play against Danny and I would give it everything. And I'd be battering him and he'd be battering me. After the game, I was thinking, oh, no, I don't fancy playing against him again. Because he's such a hard man. He wasn't great and he'll hold his hand up. But I didn't physically like playing against him. But I never told him that because it's a sign of weakness. And that's just what, Wesley's saying.
You're not the ideal surname to shout out in commentary as well, Danny Shitu, but there you go. This is from Ben Hamilton, who says, when will Ethan Galbraith get a run out? You'll know him, Ben. He's obviously been playing for Northern Ireland's under 21s, I think, over the international break. When will he get a run out? Well, I don't know. And that's the thing. Is it another classic occasion that a player is going to end up getting a loan, like Dylan Levitt's getting a loan? It looks like James Garner is. Is that a road that he might end up going down at some point?
Well, I think everybody reaches a crossroads in the career where they feel as though they might benefit more from going on loan, and that's certainly happened with a couple of players so far, and it looks like it's going to happen to a few more. It's a discussion that obviously we'll have with the manager and the coaching staff to see where he fits into their plans, and if the case in point is that he's only going to be playing regularly under 23s level and he's got the opportunity to go and play somewhere in the football league, then maybe that might benefit him more. It just depends on what stage of his career he sees himself at, and certainly where the coaching staff see him at as well as part of their plans.
This one as well from Moses said the ladies should be more appreciated. Great start for them against the champions when they got a draw against Chelsea at the weekend. And on that point, Siobhan Chamberlain is going to be our guest on this show on Friday. So we'll obviously speak to her a lot about the United Women team. She's having a great new signings for them as well, coming up, new contracts, and things seem to go really, really well at the Sports Village. And this one, we've had loads and loads of people, particularly on YouTube, asking about new signings, who's going to come in, who might come in. And this one sums it up from Theo, who simply says, sign players, morons. So thanks very much for that. We do appreciate that. It's a little bit more complicated than sign players, but let's talk a little bit about signing players. The players, I think, heading back to the Aon Training Complex. Today, the first day back after the short pre-season break and international duty. Donny van der Beek is obviously the signing so far. He'll be there meeting his new teammates, probably a few nerves. Leon, what do you make of the van der Beek signing for United? And he'll be getting his feet under the table today at Carrington. It's
very, very good use of the ball. He's not afraid to play a pass that others wouldn't even try. Saying that, with Bruno and him in the side, and Pogba in the side, or have you got three very similar players? Are you going to play 2 of the 3? Are you going to play the 1? How's it going to be? Is he going to change the formation to fit him in? That's the big question that Ollie has. I think the player himself fits Man United's mould 100%. 100%. It's where and how Ollie's going to play him.
Boys, I mean, we'll talk more about the season as United get closer, because obviously United have an extra week because of their European exploits. Don't start till a week on Saturday. But what do you think, boys, we need realistically to be considered title challengers? Because ultimately we did end 33 points behind Liverpool. What do we need to close that gap? Because really, virtually nobody played better than us in the second half of the season in terms of results. It was the first half of the season where we let ourselves down. So what do we need to close that gap? Is it signings? What else is it? Danny?
I think we need specialists in positions. I think it's not about putting sort of square pegs in round holes. We need to make sure that the people we sign are specialists in that position. And, the likes of Sancho have been mentioned. You know exactly what he is. He delivers week in, week out. He's doing it at a high level. So for me, you need somebody, whoever you're signing, need to be better than who we brought in. And we've said it before, but that's the key to, making sure that we bridge the gap between us and Liverpool. And I think you've got Liverpool. I know there are one of our biggest rivals, but you look at them as an example and you think they bought Robertson. You don't think of Robertson as anything other than a left back. Van Dijk, he's a centre back. He's one of the best in the business. Trent, he's a right back. Salah, Firmino, Mane, you know exactly what they are. Nobody's trying to play Mane as a centre midfielder, or there's no patchwork. Nobody's putting it together like that. So for us, who we sign, they have to play in their position. They have to be one of the best in their position, and it'll improve who we are.
Bruno's signing was transformational. Everyone can see that. So it just shows you sometimes you're not as far behind maybe as you think. I mean, where's it? Maybe one signing like that can make a huge, huge difference rather than 4 or 5 wholesale signing.
Yeah, it can. And, when Bruno came, I don't think any of us sort of knew how much he's going to bring to the team, how much he's going to lift the team, his personality. And that was a big part of, our success in that second half of the season. And, that just to shows that Ollie, with that one, has got that completely right in his signing. And, sometimes players, when they come to Man United, the expectation, is a little bit too much for them and they don't handle it. But Bruno has took that all on. So that's, you have to give credit to Ollie there as well. For in that short period of time, understanding Bruno's personality, what he's like, and just the way he lifted the other players. But yeah, listen, the second half of the season, like you said, we were up there or thereabouts, and a lot of it's mentality. The way Ollie got everyone sort of together in that short period of time and made them focus on what mattered, and that was coming fourth, to top 4. So at the beginning of this season, the focus is coming number 1. So we can get off to a good start looking at the fixtures. It's then, can the lads, keep that mentality going all the way to the end of the season?
What do we need, Dion? What do we need?
I don't think we have an out-and-out Harry Kane, Aguero, Nistelrooy, whatever you want to call it. I don't think we have that. And Man United should have it. They've had it through the whole of their career. They brought an absolute star back in 1992 for $1 million from Cambridge United. He was fantastic. But he had no look. But you know what I mean, Stu? If Man United, and I think Wes is right, Man United have got to look to be winning 2 and 3 trophies every year. That's what I expect of Man United. That's what Wes did. Won everything that there is to win. But you have to have, what Danny said, is the players in the right positions just to do that job. And at the moment, unless you guys can tell me that Man United have got, the centre forward, which I don't think they have.
Ronaldo, 100 goals. 100 goals for his country. Still unbelievable at the age of 35. Fantastic for him. Remarkable achievement. He is extraordinary, Dion, isn't he? He keeps going. Phenomenal.
Yeah, that's 100 international goals between us. I don't know. I just think he's. I don't know. I mean, you should speak to Wes really, because Wes played with him. Wes knows exactly what he's like. So, from the outside looking in, Stu, he just seems to do everything right. His life revolves around his family and his football, and that's it. That's all he has in his mind. He wants to be the best at everything, taking corners, taking free kicks, heading, volleys. He wants to be the best at everything. So he trains at everything to be the best. And, you know, he's not far off. I don't know.
Still doing it. Yeah. Sorry, Dion, you're right. Wes, you're spot on there, Dion. He's still doing it, boys, isn't he? It's unbelievable at the highest level at 35.
Yeah, it's crazy. But we all love it, though. And like you said, 100 goals. You know, we would have been gunning for that for the last 2 years, you know. And he'll still keep going. But, you know, he's been like that since he was, 21, 20. You know, when you could see the drive in him, and then you've just got to give him the credit. He keeps himself fit. He still looks in great shape. He still runs about. He's learned how to, you know, play the game. He's learned when to run, when not to run. He understands what defenders are doing, and he just, no matter what you say, he puts the ball in the back of the net. And you know, he's if not the greatest at doing that, he's definitely one of them.
Yeah, extraordinary man. A couple of other things we must mention. Must say good luck to Quinton Fortune, who's left United. He was obviously the assistant for the under-23s. He's gone down to Reading to be the first team coach down there. So good luck to Quinton, who's obviously on this programme. Just as a treat to you, probably the highlight of lockdown was when Quinton came on this programme and told his story about his aborted attempts to run the London Marathon. Not once, but twice. So just as a treat to you today in midweek, we're just going to replay that little bit where he told the story of his failed marathon attempts.
I know you're a fit lad, but what happened in the London Marathon?
Hey, Wes, twice.
Do you want to see, Wes? Do you want to see the video?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We've seen it.
Oh, you seen it?
What happened? What happened? I just want to know what happened. You just too much.
What do you mean? It was not. Wes, the problem is they told us before the marathon is probably the warmest day of the year. Take it easy.
Okay. You're from South Africa, Quinton.
Yeah, but Wes, I left South Africa a long time ago.
Then you lived in Spain as well.
I'm British.
Here we go.
Put it up, Quinn.
That's Quinton Fortune. Come on, Quinton.
Hey, I hope you got that guy a drink, whoever that was, holding you up.
Hey, I was fine. Why is he touching me? I was fine. I was survived. No, really, I was fine. I was walking in the wrong direction. I was getting the opposite way, so he was just guiding me the right way. But Wes, I'm telling you now, Maisie, I'm telling you, it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And Maisie, people told me before the marathon, look, just pace yourself. There'll be a point where you hit the wall. Just take it easy. I'm like, what wall? No. Maisie, 17 miles. At 17 miles, I kid you not, I saw my ancestors. Really, Maisie, I'm telling you. They were standing on the side and they were looking at me going,
shaking the head like that.
They were like, what are you doing?
Good.
Maisie, I saw my spirit leave me. My spirit went to be like, I'm out of here. Wes,
good.
It's the hardest thing.
I believe you, Craig. I believe you,
ever. Maisie, and then I took it to another level. So obviously the lads saw that video, and then Wes and everyone just absolutely rinsed me, like they took the mickey out of me for a whole year. So I told them, nah, I got to go back. I can't let the lads do this to me. So I went back the next year, Maisie.
And
worse. So next year was worse, Maisie. Luckily, there's no footages. So I've got 1 more mile to go to the end. I hit my head in the pavement.
God.
Out.
Out, pavement.
Out, Pete. I'm out. So now, Maisie, I'm waking up. I'm waking up in a tent with all ice all around me, and I'm thinking, I swear I was running the marathon. And then I'm in the ambulance. So now I'm in the ambulance, and I'm like trying to communicate with the guy because I'm speaking funny, and I see the guy like, what happened? He says, "No, you hit your head on the pavement, and then we came to get you. But when we came to help you, you were fighting us." I'm like, no. So I was throwing punches. Bumping and weaving. Can you imagine if someone had a video of me? Honestly, I would have. If there's a video of me, I'm getting home. I'm getting back to South Africa.
Winnie, I rang you.
That wasn't me who picked up.
That's where you told me you were. You were in that tent.
That wasn't me. That was my spirit.
Did you not even finish it?
Getting round.
Maisie, I was gone. I had 1 more mile to go. Gone. I dropped. Poof, finished. I don't remember.
Back of a stretcher, getting off.
Maisie, my missus, because she got the app on the phone, so you can see what happens. So she saw the app stop. So I'm like, what is she doing? And then she saw the app going really quickly, but now I'm in the ambulance. Why is he leaving the marathon? Why is he leaving the marathon?
Second win.
So I can honestly say no more marathons for me, Maisie. I just go for simple walk, Maisie.
Quinton Fortune there with a fantastic tale. You actually, Ben, the fact that you rang him when he was in the tent getting treatment after his second attempt was classic, wasn't it? What a story.
Well, I remember, and probably everybody, because he went viral, saw the video of him in his first year needing, assistance to get over the line and looking like Trevor Burbick as though his legs had disappeared from underneath him. And when he was running it the second year, I know how fit a guy Quinton is, and he learned it from his mistakes the first year, and obviously got so close to coming over the line and then tripped and fell. And I was eager to find out how he got on after his exploits the year before. And he said, I woke up talking to you on the phone from a hospital bed. So I couldn't believe that it had happened to him twice.
Yeah, and he might be facing United very soon with Reading in the League Cup if they can beat Luton. So I hope we do come across Quinton, who's a great fella. Also, Marcus Rashford, you might have noticed, won the PFA Merit Award for his phenomenal efforts in trying to combat child food poverty, using his status, his fame, his position to make a real difference. And Dion, I mean, he's getting recognition from all over the place, and rightly so.
Listen, I think if there's any young players out there that want to know the conduct of a young footballer, then you have to look at Marcus. You have to look at what he does on the pitch, how hard he works on the pitch for his club, for his country, and then off the pitch, being so unselfish and using his own time and his own contacts and his own platform to help others all over the country that in a position that he was in many, many years ago. What that tells me, Stu, is that he's not forgot where he came from, and he wants to help people that are in that position where he was. He knows how fortunate he is. Yes, he's worked hard, but he's in a fortunate position. The four of us were as well. And to help people that aren't in the same position as you and just need a little bit of help, just by getting some food at school, it's a massive thing for him, and nobody deserves it more than Marcus.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
I remember speaking to his brothers who actually look after him before he had his career. And they always said, if he gets the platform, if he ever hits the heights that they want him to hit, then he would always give back. He would always want to go back to the community and always give back. And his mum Mel's played a big part in that as well. I think she answers every bit of his fan mail. So they're very aware and very in touch with all of, with the fans. And that's globally, but not least, locally where he's come from. So it remains a big part of who he is. And, as an example to other younger lads coming through. You've got to look at him and think that's a great way to be, getting the headlines for the right reasons.
Before we go, you can't help but have noticed our new distinctive third kit that was being modelled by David Beckham quite recently. We've got one to give away. So we've got a new shirt to give away in this programme. And what we want you to do to work for it is to come up with a short sort of terrace chant for one of our group chat members. It could be Ben, it could be Wes, it could be Dan, it could be Maisie, who's not here, it could be Dion. Okay? So if you can come up with a terrace chant for one of them, keep it clean-ish. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Now, you could just write it down and email it, or record an audio version and send that as well. It's up to you. But what you want to do is get in touch via email, mutv@manunited.co.uk, mutv@manunited.co.uk, or you can comment in the comment section of our YouTube channel. It's up to you, really. The best one will be chosen, and the winner will be announced on Friday in this show, okay? mutv@manunited.co.uk. Come up with a terrace chant for one of our group chat guests, or two of them if you want, but a terrace chant that we can read out and is cleanish. You can either just send an email, or you can say it or sing it and send an audio file. Up to you. Dion, I know you love it. I'd love to see you in that kit, mate.
Now, if you want to sell anything, put it on Bex.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If you want to sell anything, put it on Bex. It will sell 100%, and that's perfect. On Bex, it looked $1 million. Off of Bex, it's not quite $1 million. It's not my favourite, put it that way. That's why it's third choice.
All right, so you could win a third choice shirt on this show, mutv@manunited.co.uk. Boys, brilliant to see you. Thank you for joining us. All very good to see you again, Dion, on the show as well.
Thank you very much, guys, for having me. Cheers.
And don't forget, Siobhan Chamberlain, former United Women's goalkeeper, is on the show Friday. And get emailing with that terrace chant. And we'll see you on Friday. Bye, everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, bye.